guys, Sandra here, and welcome to my channel Starsinpalm. I'm so happy you guys could join me for another Plan With Me video and look at my Sassy Club cover that one of my subscribers and Sassy alums made for me. Thanks, Michelle. And be sure and hit that subscribe button depending on where you're watching and become part of the Sassy Club, y'all. I'm sorry if my voice sounds ridiculous today, but I'm fighting off the flu and I am so hoarse right now that I almost couldn't even film or do this voiceover for this video, shall I say, because it was that bad. I'm just pulling out a bunch of the things I know I'm going to be using on this layout for my planner because I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do. I pulled out some of the washies I was thinking of using. And I wanted to do kind of like, I guess, sort of non-traditional colors other than the red. I really like the way that that kind of craft sort of looked and that plaid sort of design. And if you know anything about me, you guys, I'm obsessed with plaid. And I'm just cutting down those strips with my Fiskars paper trimmer, and I went ahead and did that to the red plaid as well. Red plaid, to be specific, is my personal favorite. And I'm using my Tombow Mono multi-adhesive to just glue down these little squares in my weekly overview. Just to basically cover certain areas up that I don't think I'm going to have things going on in those days. But again, I don't generally plan my month ahead of time. I know some people do, but I never know what's really going to happen, so I can plan some things but not all things. And I also enjoy leaving some white space in my layouts, which I know not everyone does, but I personally do like to leave some white space. So this layout is going to be a little bit more on the simple side for me, yet not, if you know what I mean. I'm using some of that Star Gold washi tape that I really love that I've had in my stash forever, and I just think it's really cute, so I figured I would add some throughout this layout because washi is one of my favorite things to use to also decorate my pages besides stamps. And I'm just using my ruler to pull off the edge of the washi to make sure that that's straight, and that's a great little trick I've learned actually from watching other YouTubers, that you can just use something that's straight edge to kind of just pull off your washi instead of having to use a scissor and stuff like that. So it just makes it a lot easier if you ask me. Just put it, you could even use a credit card to do that as well. And I want to know if you guys notice anything different about my sound quality for this video, because I kind of upgraded because I've had a few people say they had a hard time hearing me, so I hope that they can hear me a little bit better, even though I've only had a very few people say that, but I wanted to do that for a while anyway. And I also am adding some thin strip of this mint washi that I've had in my stash as well for a while. And I'm just adding the mint with the gold washi just because I thought it looked good there and I thought it would be fun to layer. And I decided to kind of go for more of a non-traditional green color and go for the mint because, as you guys know, I am obsessed with mint, so I'll just admit that. But I just thought it would be cool to do something non-traditional. I didn't want to do like a super greeny color for this certain layout. Maybe I'll do that for some of my weekly layouts that you guys will see, but for this one I kind of just wanted to just go with the flow and go with whatever I thought looked good, which is generally what I do since I'm not great at planning things ahead. And I decided to stamp out some of the presents from my Christmas stamp set, which I will have links to my shop as well as all the products that I use in this video in the description box below for you guys as usual. And if something isn't there, usually it's sold out or I forgot, but I'm usually pretty good about not forgetting. But you can always leave me a comment if for whatever reason you can't find something, and I usually will try my best to at least find something comparable if it's sold out. And yeah, I'm pretty much just stamping along here. As you guys know, I just kind of layer, and a good trick that you can do is, as you guys see, I'm using a piece of paper to kind of stamp off the little middle present so I can kind of make it look smaller, and I kind of tilt it to the side as well because I really love the way that looks. And masking off is a great way to kind of manipulate your stamps into getting more use out of them, and it's something that I really love to do. It's one of the first things I learned in paper crafting when I was crafting with other people. And now I'm just using some black distress inks on this little tag that matches this collection because it came in the 6x6 paper pad, so I just cut it out. And I just wanted to have a black edge around it because I thought that would make it look more defined and cool, because I wanted it to add it right there in the corner. And I just wanted to add something there. I know a lot of people sometimes add quotes in corners and things like that, but I just thought it'd be fun to add this little tag and I thought it would look cute. So I decided to just stick that down with my Tombow adhesive tape runner, which, as you guys know, is like my lifesaver. Pretty much all the adhesives I use are pretty much all Tombow, but that's just because they make really good quality stuff. And as always, this video is not sponsored, but and everything that I use in it I bought myself, just in case I have to say that. But I'm usually always very upfront with you guys about what's going on, and I usually make it very clear when a video is sponsored, just for the record, in case you're new to my channel, because I'm about being crystal clear and I only promote something that I think is pretty awesome. So, and yeah, so I'm layering things throughout this layout. You guys know that with my plan with me's, it's very go with the flow. I kind of just keep layering things till it looks good to me and then I stop. And sometimes even after I've finished the video, sometimes I'll end up adding more because that's just how I am. Pretty much there's no rhyme or reason, y'all. I mean, other than what looks good to me, so I would say do the same for you. Do what looks good to you. I'm stamping some of my stamps off on a piece of paper, which is like about 110-pound cardstock, because I decided to make kind of like my own watercolor stickers. Generally, I will stamp these onto my planner directly and watercolor them on the pages, as you guys see me do if you've watched my other plan with me's. But the reason I didn't do that with these in particular was because since some of the paper patterns I chose are kind of darker, you wouldn't have been able to really see some of these if I had tried to stamp, let's say, on top of that red and black plaid. So that was kind of like my thought process behind that. And I'm sorry if I sound really nasally, guys. Like I said, I have a cold right now, so I'm really struggling. And hopefully I'll be feeling better soon. I'm using my Peerless watercolors and my water brush to kind of just pull the colors through. And generally when I use these Peerless watercolors, I will use an acrylic block to kind of water down the color, because if you pull directly from them, the color is going to be super pigmented and it's kind of makes it a little harder to blend out versus having like a little acrylic block to work with. And I will also say that you guys will be seeing my ratchet hair throughout this video. You're welcome. Pretty much I was in my pajamas and it was pretty late when I was filming this, so yeah, YOLO. That's how I roll pretty much. Now I'm doing the red stockings, and I end up going over the white hearts that are on the stockings, which I was a little bummed about, but I should have just done those with a fine tipped water brush instead of a medium tip. But I love my medium tip and I tend to stick with that one, so I kind of just wanged it and just went with it. And I end up making the whites of the stockings look like kind of tanny, because I just thought it would be nice to kind of just add a different tone since I'm already having a lot of white in this layout. Oh my gosh, y'all. I swear, colds are the worst, and it never generally gets this cold in Arizona, but right now it's really cold. So between being cold and having this like flu and all of that, it's been miserable, y'all. I can generally remain pretty positive, but when my voice or throat starts to hurt, that's when it really gets to me. And now I'm just gluing down those little bits, and I cut them out, and it was super easy to cut, you guys, as long as you have a good scissor to cut these out with. I use my little Cutter Bee scissors, which I generally link as well in the description box for you guys, because it's kind of like a must-have to have a really good pair of scissors. And sometimes when they're kind of smaller, like the way those Cutter Bees are, it makes it easier to cut in between the little tiny cracks, but really, it's just really easy. Like, I'm just emphasizing that because literally it did not take me much time. And if you have a Cameo and you have that little pick mat where you can take the picture, you could probably even cut those out using your Cameo as well if you're someone who doesn't really like to cut things. But I kind of enjoy fussy cutting things, so I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And I decided to glue those randomly in different spots just because I thought they were really cute. And hindsight, maybe I should have stamped a little bit more of them out so that I could have some extras while I'm at it, because, you know, once you put things away, it's pretty much done from there, at least for me it is. But going back, I may have had done that. I also did this little wreath off camera, and I just kind of watercolored that as well. Again, the reason that I didn't just stamp it directly onto my page was because I wanted to put it on this little tag, and you wouldn't have really been able to appreciate it had I not done that. But the great thing with using stamps is that you can make as many or as little stickers as you want. And next I'm using this little latte cup stamp from actually my fall planner doodle, because that's another set that you can pretty much use all year round depending on the icons you're using. And I don't care what season it is, if baby girl wants a latte, she's getting one. So basically I decided to put that there. I just thought it was really cute, and it has like a little cozy with a heart around it, so I just think it's adorable. And I also went ahead and watercolored that as well, because like I said, that red pattern doesn't really leave much room for you not to do that. So the lighter pattern you choose, the easier it is to kind of watercolor on top of it. And you guys can't really see that little snow globe guy that I also did there, but he's adorable. He's one of my favorites from the whole set, personally, even though I love the whole set pretty much. And then I'm going in and I'm coloring in the little presents that come in the set, and you get that little part in my stamp set so that you can just color them in using your inks, which I think is great because that's a really easy way to be able to color them in versus having to pull out your watercolors. But either way, it doesn't take a huge amount of effort, and I think, like, at least for me, when I'm doing my planning stuff, I'm gung-ho. I'm just like all in, so whatever I need to do to make it look cute, I'm pretty much willing to do. Then I just pulled out my pen, which I will also link because I do always get a lot of questions about it. And I'm sorry if I'm stuttering in these videos, but if you watch me frequently, then you know that's not a surprise. I decided to just write some things that I knew were going to happen during the week, but like I said, I leave a lot of blank spots because I don't plan out my whole month, and sometimes, generally speaking, I don't really know if I'm going to need space to add something else, so I kind of just leave it open. Other than you will notice that I do have Star Wars jotted in there because I got my tickets already on reserve. And if you don't have yours, you should probably go and try to get some so that you can see it the same week it comes out, because I heard it's going to be insane, but can you blame it? I'm a huge sci-fi nerd, so the minute I saw the new preview for the Star Wars coming out, I was like, yes, yes! See, I could pretty much spend the whole video talking about that, so I'll stop now. I'm using the banner from my latte planning, which is another element that comes in handy because you can use a banner anytime, any day of the week pretty much. And I'm just going in with that aqua Versa chalk color, which I will try and remember to link as well, and it's like the prettiest minty color, and it kind of goes perfect with the mints that I have going on throughout my layout. And all the words that you get in my Christmas stamp set fit, generally speaking, inside that little banner that you get from latte planning. And I try to do that purposely, make all the different elements in the different stamps as much as possible, try to kind of fit together, that way that you can use them in combination with each other, because then you kind of get more bang for your buck in that sense, because you can combine a lot of things. So that's another thing I love about stamps. And again, I'm going in and writing more things with my pen. I'm kind of a little off with my writing in this video because I honestly blame it on being on NyQuil, because I usually take my NyQuil right before I go to bed. Since I've been having the flu, not like on a regular basis. So basically, yeah, I was a little bit out of it, I will say, but overall this turned out pretty good besides that. And I'm just deciding what else I want to add to this. Like I said, I keep layering till it just looks right to me. I'm using Rose Red Versa color ink on my little candy cane that comes in this set, and I decided to just stick it up there next to the December and not next to December, but next to the 2015 on the header, because I thought that would look really cute. And there's so many different little elements you get in the stamp set that it was really hard to choose which ones I was or wasn't going to use, because pretty much I could have used every single one of them. But you will see me using them throughout my other weekly layouts, throughout the other videos that you'll see coming up. So I just usually I kind of just go with whatever looks right at the moment to me. And I really love this color red. It was like the perfect color red to go with this layout in particular. And I love that the title was in red, because I was like, thank you, Happy Planner, for making the color relevant to the season. Because I feel like most people are all right with the color red for December, you know? Even if you're not into traditional colors. And next I'm going to be using the little light bulb, or Christmas lights, shall I say, from this set. And it is literally one of my favorite little elements from this set because I had so many ideas for it. I go ahead and take a pen and I basically make a string of lights going through these, and this was an idea I had even when I was designing it and coming up with the concept for it, and I think it looks so cute like that with the string going through it. And then I'm doing the same thing right over here, and I'm going to add the same strings, and I'm kind of just offsetting all the lights so that they look like real Christmas lights. And you get also like the fill-in of the stamps, so you can also stamp in colors for these as well, which makes it such a fun little like element to add to stamps on your planner, in my opinion. So I really had fun using this. I know I'm going to use this a lot more for the month of December because it's just such a fun thing to do. It makes me feel like a little kid when I'm doing this. And there you see my ratchet hair. And I'm just using my Versacolor inks for this, and just stamping in a little bit of yellow, a little bit of that same rose red that I used for the candy cane, and then I'm going to be using a little bit of the aqua on one of them. I kind of was wondering whether I should do like a bunch of different colors, but I ended up kind of sticking with the colors that seem to be the theme in this layout, which is pretty much red, mint, and aqua, and then I did decide to randomly add the yellow, but I felt like it didn't take away from the layout, which is why I decided on that. And then I'm going to be using the little mail guy from the Planner Doodle stamp set that I've also designed, because it's kind of one of those things I use really often because I have to go to the post office quite often, whether it's picking things up or sending things off, especially now for Christmas as well, because as you guys know, the frenzy for sending off Christmas gifts to people who are living in other states is like, you have to really be on top of your game because the post office is insane right now. So I'm kind of trying to make sure that I'm on my game with that. I have a lot of my Christmas presents already bought for family members outside of the state, but I still have a lot more to get done, so I'm hoping I can get it done in time, and yeah, we will see about that. And then I'm using that same YouTube little icon that's in the planner stamp set, and that basically is from the Planner Doodle one as well that I just used, and like I said, I will have links in the shop for you guys. And then I'm using the words Christmas and list in my on the sidebar. Instead of doing a quote for this weekly overview, I thought I would write down the names of everybody that I'm buying Christmas gifts for so I can go marking them off as I buy them, which I thought was really ingenious, even though I'm sure other people have thought about this too. But I'm using the little ornaments from my set and just stamping them down and then writing people's names on the sidebar, and I figured as I buy people's gifts I can go coloring in the little bulbs so that I know who I've already gotten off my list, basically, because it makes it easier for me to kind of just make sort of like a bullet list of the people's gifts who I've bought or haven't bought yet, and then I can just kind of like keep track of it mentally and on paper. So anyway, you guys, I hope I sounded alright for this video. I know my voice is horrible right now, but hopefully it was okay. And I hope you guys are enjoying these Plan With Me videos. I really enjoy making them for you, and if you do like them, be sure and give me a big thumbs up, you guys. I really appreciate it, and I also love to hear from y'all in the comments. It's always really amazing. And again, Michelle, thank you so much for that cover that you sent me. It was so sweet, girl. And I will have links to everything in the description box below, and thank you guys so much for watching, y'all. Bye!